start off by saying to you that I'm still growing, and that the teachings that I've shared in times past on the subject of tithing were not correct. And today I stand in humility to correct some things that I've taught for years and believed for years, but could never understand it clearly because I had not yet been confronted with the gospel of grace, which has made the difference. I won't apologize, because if it wasn't for me going down that route, I would have never ended up where I am right now. But I will say that I have no shame at all at saying to you, throw away every book, every tape, and every video I ever did on the subject of tithing.
Shalom, shalom. This is Amawan from the Lion's Den Camp of Yasha Allah, coming at you guys with another lesson. Hope it's edifying to the Akim, to the Aquafium, to anyone that's out there listening. Before I get into it, I want to give all praises to the Father and the Son and the Holy Proper True Names. And I want to say, Call, Halayim La, Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Ha, Rakah, Kodash, Ma'amaf. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of GMS. Salutations to the Akim that's pushing his truth diligently around the four corners of the earth. Also, double honors to my elder as well, Ahirawan Ban Yasha Allah, of the Lion's Den Camp of Yasha Allah. All right. And the lesson I'm getting into today is based upon this video that we just saw of Creflo, Steal Your Dollar, pretty much confessing that his teachings about tithing is wrong, and pretty much all his teachings are wrong. But he's admitting, or sort of admitting, that he was wrong for teaching tithing, and he still is wrong for what he is saying, because he's not teaching the proper doctrine of the Lord, of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. He's scattering the sheep of his people, of our people, man, with these with all this wine, man, and these deceitful things, man. Speaking about prosperity, the prosperity doctrine, and that's the main goal. That's the main thing. The most talked about topic in the churches is about prosperity, and because we are in a hellish state right now. The so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, we are in a lower state right now, man. So that's one thing that the churches do. It's a business, man. They foretell certain things to get people in the spirit of fear, having them believing that it's hell, man, under the ground, man, and there's no such thing, because we living in hell right now, because what the scriptures talks about, how when the body dies, the spirit goes back to the Father, and the body and the flesh goes to the ground, man. But I'm just gonna go into a few scriptures, man, because he's one of the false prophets, or one of the false teachers, all right, that's scattering the sheep of the Lord's, scattering us amongst these other nations with these false doctrines, man. And the Lord is not dealing with that, man. And the Lord will destroy these false prophets that's scattering the sheep still and leading them into a ditch, man. So I'm gonna go into Malachi 3, verse 8. It says, "Will a man rob Yahweh? Yet he hath robbed me. But ye say, wherein have we robbed thee? In tithes and offerings." All right. And it says what? It says, "Ye are cursed with a curse, for ye have robbed me, even this whole nation." So, with all these pastors and these so-called false prophets, man, they robbing the Lord, man. Robbing the people and robbing the Lord, man, because they're not feeding the flock the correct way. They taking away from the Lord's flock, or in a sense, man. because they causing 2/3 of our people to be destroyed, man, with these false teachings, man. So it says, "Will a man rob Yahweh? Yet ye have robbed me. But ye say, wherein have we robbed thee? In tithes and offerings." And that's what they're doing with these tithes and offerings. You know what I'm saying? They're using the tithes and offerings as what a a platform to gain. All right, not the gain for for righteousness' sake, but for the gain for their own sakes, man. Hey, and then that's wrong, man. All right, this is first. This is Titus chapter 1, verse 10. It says, "For there are many unruly and vain talkers and deceivers, especially they of the circumcision, whose mouths must be stopped, who subvert whole houses, teaching things which they ought not, for filthy lucre's sake." And that's a prime example, man, for these pastors in these churches, man. You know, these apostles in these churches, man, which are not, man, because they're not doing the things according to what Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah. All right. It says, "For there are many unruly and vain talkers." And when you go to church, well, man, they always talking about bull crap, man. They're not edifying the church. And they're not edifying the people. You know, they talking about sports. They're talking about eating pork and all this abominable things, man. Hey, which is contrary to the Lord, man. Because the Lord, what the scripture says, it says the Most High dwelleth not in temples made with hands. But that's the first. That's the first fact, you know. So, with that being said, these men is lying to the people, man. And causing them to go astray, man. And then also taking their money. you know. Verse 11. It says, "Whose mouths must be stopped, who subvert whole houses, teaching things which they ought not, for filthy lucre's sake." So they teaching these false doctrines, man, to our people. All right, just for the dollar, just like Creflo steal your dollar. That's all he wants, the dollar, man. Because he just admitted. He said he's not sorry for what he done, but he said he's not ashamed to say that everything that he talked about was bullshit, and he's still talking about bullshit because he's not what he stated was not a sincere apology, man. We can clearly see that, man. And what the scripture says, he said, you'll know a man by their fruits, man. And his fruits, he want the riches, man. He like Esau. He want it all. He got a private jet, a jumbo jet, from the church, man, with these tithes and offerings, man. And he been teaching that for many years, well before I was born, causing our people to give up their money, you know what I'm saying, just to fill his pockets, man. And that's wrong. Matthew 12:34, it says, "O generation of vipers, how can ye being evil speak good things? For out of the abundance of the heart the mouth speaketh. A good man out of the good treasure of the heart bringeth forth good things, and the evil man out of the evil treasure bringeth forth evil things. But I say unto you, that every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give account thereof in the day of judgment. For by thy words thou shalt be justified, and by thy words shalt thou be condemned, man." So, everyone's words is gonna be accounted thereof in the day of judgment, man. All right. So, you speaking on these false philosophies, all right, and scattering the sheep and causing them to fall into a ditch on the path of destruction, you're gonna be judged for that. And if you're speaking the good gospel to the people, feeding the flock the correct way, you're gonna be judged righteously. You know what I'm saying? According to the words that you were speaking to the people. Okay, it says, for by thy words thou shalt be justified, and by thy words thou shalt be condemned. So, hey, you either gonna be justified or you gonna be condemned. And in his case of Creflo, Steal Your Dollar, he's gonna be condemned. You know, from the evil speakings and the evil things that he been speaking to our people about, man. You know, and that's his evil treasure, man. So he a viper, you know what I'm saying, biting our people, you know, poisoning our people with the philosophies of men, you know. I'm gonna leave it off with this. This is Jeremiah 23:1. It says, woe be unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture, saith the Lord. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, power of Israel, against the pastors that feed my people. Ye have scattered my flock and driven them away, and have not visited them. Behold, I will visit upon you the evil of your doings, saith the Lord. And I will gather the remnant of my flock out of all countries, whither I have driven them, and will bring them again to their folds, and they shall be fruitful and increase. All right. And I will set up shepherds over them which shall feed them, and they shall fear no more, nor be dismayed, neither shall they be lacking, saith the Lord. All right. So what? It says, woe unto the pastors, man. You know, that destroy and scatter the people. All right. And what that word woe means destruction. All right. So woe to the pastors that destroy and scatter the people, man. You know, causing our people to be what? Lack of knowledge, having lack of knowledge. What it says in Hosea 4:6, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. All right. So, hey, if you're not teaching the correct doctrine of the Lord, our people are lacking in knowledge because you're not giving them the truth. All right. You feeding them lies, man, for filthy lucre's sake, man. And that's an evil thing. All right. So it says, therefore, thus saith the Lord, power of Israel, against the pastors that feed my people. Ye have scattered my flock and driven them away. All right. Leading them to a ditch. All right. And have not visited them. Behold, I will visit upon you the evil of your doing. So that, hey, what goes around is gonna come back around. But hey, they're gonna get their judgment. You know, they got their reward right now. You know, they lived out they you know, they life to receive their reward. You know, the reward of destruction. You know, it says, and I will gather the remnant of my people, because the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is gonna gather his people again. You know, and he's gathering us right now. It says, and I will gather the remnant of my flock out of all countries, whither I have driven them, and I will bring them again to their foes, and they shall be fruitful and increase. So the Lord is gonna uplift his people. All right, he's gonna glorify his people. All right, he's gonna give them the increase. Right, because why? Because they believe and they trust in the Lord. They glorify the Lord. All right, they don't glorify men. They don't follow out the men. All right, they're not men pleasers. They're pleasers of the Lord, man. You know. All right, and it says, verse 4, it says, and I will set up shepherds over them which shall feed them, and they shall fear no more nor be dismayed. So the Lord is going to set up shepherds. He's going to set up prophets. He's going to set up teachers to properly teach the people. And that's what the wise councilmen are doing in today's time, out on the highways and byways, blowing the trumpet to our people, giving them the true gospel, all right, of the Lord, man. All right. It says, and they shall fear no more nor be dismayed. Because what? In the churches, they prey on the people by teaching about what? About fear and guilt, you know. And that's what got our people, you know, consciously dishing out money, you know. And because hey, they're not teaching the correct doctrine of tithing and offerings, man. And what us as brothers, you know, we what we use tithing for, you know, we support each other, man. So if a brother may be hurting, or whatnot, we're there to help, man. We don't use it for our gain's sakes, for our own pleasures, but we use it for the helping of each other, man. You know, and first and foremost, giving our praises to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah for allowing us to be able to help someone, man. All right, but I just wanted to bring that out, and I hope this lesson was edifying. I want to say shalom.